First question from John Warner with the Waco Tribune Herald.
Hey, John, you scored a career high 21 points, hit 9 out of 10 shots. Why were you in such a groove tonight, do you think?
I feel like the whole team was excited to play in this game. We felt grateful to get another opportunity to get on the floor, and my teammate just kept on finding me on the road every time.
Next question from Kendall Kaut with Sic'Em 365.
John, against KU, Coach Drew had mentioned in the postgame that he felt like you and Flo were open as rollman a little bit. What did you all do from the end of the KU game today to make it so that the guards and you were on the same page to kind of convert those opportunities?
Excuse me, can you say that again, please?
Yeah, so John, after the KU game, it seemed like maybe the guards weren't always hitting you on some roll opportunities. What went well that you were able to get those opportunities as a roll man today?
Well, I feel like we got one of some of the best guards in the nation, if not the best guard, and they're getting better each and every game. We just kept on working on that, and they improved and learned from the last game.
Next question from David Smoke with Sic'Em 365 Radio.
Jonathan, obviously the team needed a spark, and you gave it to them not only just offensively, but it appeared as if maybe on the court, your leadership. There's been kind of a question from Coach Drew about that. Not you, but who's going to step up? Has that been discussed at all, or you just went out there and did it?
I feel like it's an every night thing, and it's really like rotating because we're not a one-man show or a one-man team, and we don't only have one leader. So every night, like we have different guys stepping up and just putting in. Like there's never like a single person being a leader on the floor. Like personally, I'm not that much of a vocal leader. I'm more a leader by action. Like I do stuff and I lead by example. James lead by example and the way to talk. Adam talk to the team. I'm not the only leader in the team. Flo as well, the way he carry himself and the way he talk to the team. So I feel like it's more like a community thing everybody brings in.
Next question from Michael Haig with the Baylor Lariat.
Hey there, just kind of was that last three that you made just kind of the icing on the cake to cap off that career night?
That was definitely fun because it was actually flagged. You mentioned that I had 18 points and let's get this man 2 more, and he asked the coaching staff to run the play to get me 20. So it's actually flagged. You pointed it out, and that was definitely nice. Yeah.
Next question from Kevin Longquist with SicEmSports.com.
Jonathan, your guys' defense in about the first 5 minutes of the second half, and you talked about why that seemed to really set the tone for the way that the rest of this game is being played.
Can I ask that question again, please?
Yeah, just talking about the way you guys played defense about the first 5 minutes of the second half that kind of set the tone.
Oh yeah, definitely. We believe that defense travel. It doesn't matter how many shots you make or not. At the end of the day, you need to bring some energy and play some defense. That's something you can really be consistent about. And we just felt like whatever mistake we made during the first half, we corrected in the second half and just adjust defensively.
Final question for John from Michael Haig with the Baylor Lariat.
Just overall, kind of tell me just how nice it is to get back in the win column after, that game against Kansas.
It's always nice just to get back on the floor. Like we're definitely grateful to get an opportunity to play games. And it's just always good to get a win and share it with just these amazing people. So it was definitely good. And we're just looking forward for the next game and the next practice.
All right. Thanks, John.
All right. Thanks. That was quick.
Good job, big guy.
Thank you.
Hey.
All right, guys, I got Coach. All right, Coach Drew's going to start us off with an opening statement, and then we'll open it up for questions.
The Chuck Carlton, how you doing, sir? Anyway, great win because any Big 12 one's a good one, and especially after the last game we played, we wanted to have a much better performance. And I thought first half we didn't execute as well as we'd like. Second half, I thought we did a great job and looked a lot more like ourselves. And our bench was outstanding. Dale and John gave us a huge lift. Our bench scored 38 points. And now if we can just get LJ back, we'll be back whole.
First question from John Warner with the Waco Tribune Herald.
Scott, was the biggest difference, especially at the start of the second half, the defense?
No question. We held them to 39%, which means you get a lot of stops, you get in transition, and then our second chance points, we flipped them from what they were last game at Kansas. And I think our transition defense was a lot better today. You guys did a great job working on that.
Next question from Kendall Kaut with Sic'Em 365.
Scott, on Saturday, you mentioned kind of some concern about guards hitting the roll man. It seemed like they did a good job with that tonight. What do you think went well with the guards hitting Flo and John tonight?
No, they did. They did a great job with the reads. At the same time, the whole game was easier because we were out in transition, which allowed you to get some easy buckets. We were aggressive, which allowed us to get to the free throw line. And then we were able to, on the defensive end, make them work. And rather than just come down and score in the first 7 seconds, like we saw a lot last game.
Next question from David Smoke, Sic'Em 365 Radio.
Scott, you mentioned.
Oh, hang on 1 second, Smoke.
He muted you, Smoke.
That was on me. I apologize. All my fault.
That's okay.
And is Kendall or Smoke's beard getting longer? That's the real question.
You're
Yours
not
is
the only
white,
one
though.
You're not the only one that's wanted to mute me. Scott, you've mentioned something a little bit about, needing someone to stand up and not sit, raise their hand and be a leader. But did you see a little bit of that from Jonathan tonight? A little bit more, maybe not just because of the offense, but his role overall?
Yeah, well, John always gives us great energy, and we all feed off of that. And he's only played basketball since 16. So sometimes he is vocal, but sometimes the hardest part is to know what to say and where to be. And I think the more and more comfortable on the defensive end he's getting with that, the more vocal and the more vocal you're during the game, it's easier to be vocal in timeouts, huddles. And he's such a likable guy. Everybody respects his work and appreciates him. So when he says something, we take it serious. The other thing is, I think James and Adam are starting to get healthier. Adam's still not 100%. And I don't know if James would say he is now, but as they get back into a rhythm, it's a lot easier for them to lead when they're feeling better as well.
Next question from Michael Haig with the Baylor Larry.
Hey, Scott, I know you just kind of talked about James a little bit. Did you feel like he was in a little bit of a better rhythm? Obviously, coming off the struggles against Kansas.
Yeah, a lot more aggressive. 8 assists, did a great job moving the ball. And then the 15 points obviously were nice, but great players usually don't have two bad games in a row. So I didn't expect him to have another performance that like he had the last game. But I tell you, for our team to be successful, that 8 assists is really important.
Next question from Kevin Longquist with Sic'EmSports.com.
Scott, I don't know if this is by design or not, but was defensively the approach of saying, do we let Mac get his, but we try to take the other guys away, take the other guys away from their offense? At least that's what the box score would suggest, because, you really shut down Smith in the second half. And I'm just kind of curious as to how you guys wanted to approach them in the second half.
Well, we try to shut down everybody, but thanks for thinking that we're smart enough to do that. I think we did a much better job on Smith in the second half. I thought he hurt us on penetration in the first half, and we had a lot better Smith awareness. And I thought the help side defense was really good as well, which made it tough for him to get to the rim, and then made him pass and allowed us to scramble out. So Pack was difficult to stop all night. I thought the adjustments on Smith by the players really helped.
Final question from Andrew Miner.
Hey, Coach, I was wondering if you could shed some insight on Jeremy's hairdo. It seems like every other week he kind of has a different hairstyle, and now it was shaved tonight. I was just curious if you could shed some insight on that.
Well, the only thing I told him is, at one point he was 6'10 and a half. Now he's down to 6'8. So the other thing is, I don't think he can do anything else with it. So I don't know what color. I don't know. I think we got what we got for a little bit. So he asked me about shaving mine, and I said no, because mine won't grow back. So.
Sure. Thank you. Appreciate it, Coach.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Everybody hang tight. We'll get Dale in here.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
All right. Next up, we have Dale Bonner. If you have a question for Dale, please use the raise hand function, and I will call on you individually. First up, John Warner with the Waco Tribune Herald.
Dale, Jonathan really had a big night tonight. Were you guys just looking for him? What do you think happened out there with him?
I think he was just being aggressive. He was ready on offense or defense. He just has a lot of energy on both ends, and he just did what he did tonight. He played great.
Next question from Kendall Cow with Sic'Em 365.
Dale played 17 minutes in the second half. Did you feel kind of like you were ready to meet the moment since that's the most minutes you played in a half this season? Kind of how's that transition from D2 to D1 been for you? And do you feel like you're now kind of really hitting your stride?
It's been a good transition. You know, I've been taking it day to day, and I think I'm just getting more comfortable with the time I'm getting. And again, my coaches believe in me and my teammates. So, yep.
Next question from Andrew Minor.
Dale, you had a few steals in the second half. What were you seeing on defense that made you be able to shoot the gap so aggressively and so well for a transition offense?
I was just trying to see the ball ahead. Me and Coach Peterson talk about it a lot. We watch a lot of film, and I just read the offense, and I just played aggressive.
Any more questions for Dale? Kendall Kaut with Sic'Em 365.
Dale, you had that nice Euro step score in kind of the second half. How have you developed that move in your game?
Coach Drew always tells me first 3 steps. So after I stole the ball, I just tried to push the ball as fast as I could, and I know I can finish at the rim pretty good. So I just went up confident, and I finished.
Next question from David Smoke, Sic'Em 365 Radio.
Dale, you mentioned just waiting to get your opportunities, and you've had more and more of those. Today or tonight, it seemed like you might have been more comfortable on both ends of the court. Did you feel that in any way, and where did that come from?
Yeah, I felt confident. You know, the coaches believe in me and my teammates, so I just have to continue. The more time or whatever time I get on the floor, I just have to come out there and play with confidence every time I step on the floor.
Final question for Dale from Andrew Minor.
Yeah, Dale, from a point guard perspective, what makes Jonathan so good at being so patient in the lane and not rushing on those role plays down low and then not rushing the shot?
I would say he just trusts us guards, and he knows we're going to reward him at some point in the game. So he's just very patient, and when the moment comes, he's ready.